In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a PowerPoint template for your science project. This can be very useful for the students, for the teachers, or for the research students or PhD students. In so many fields, you can use this particular presentation or the template. You can see here I have designed this molecules of blue color, and then here I have added the text science research project. You can add your detailed text here, and I've given some bright and some dark colors as the background. And when I click, then here I've given a content slide where you can add your topics here, and then I've added this molecule design here, and then I've just changed the color. You can add the images if you want, and this is the thank you slide. So let's see how to do this in PowerPoint. Add a new slide, and I'm going to design the molecules. For that, go to insert shapes, and from basic shapes I'm going to select the oval shape. Just click the oval shape, you get this size, which is the height and width as 1 inches. Then shape outline, make it no outline, and shape fill I'm going to use a dark blue color here. You can see this one. And then I'm going to just duplicate this, press Ctrl D to duplicate it. You can see here, and I'm just going to keep it aside for later use, and I'm going to make one more duplicate. Now right mouse click, go to format shape, and I'm going to select the gradient fill. So in the gradient fills, by default you have got 4 stops. I'm going to delete 2 stops, and then type, change it to radial, and the direction you make it from center. So you can see here, this one, the center, let me just make it a white color, something like this. And I'm going to select the second stop, go to the colors. I'm going to select the same color which we have used, this blue here. And then the transparency, make it fully transparent. You can see here, and I can just move it something like this also, and exactly bring it here. The moment I bring it here, you can see here it looks like a 3D here, a shining a ball. Now after this, I'm just going to add few more effects. So I'm just going to select this, press Ctrl D to duplicate, and then go to insert shapes. I'm going to select the oval shape once again. For example, I want to just cut this area, for example, or I can just say that I want to cut this part which is visible. So I'm just going to select this, hold the shift key, select the oval shape. Under format, merge shape, you can just subtract, you can see here, and then bring it here exactly on the top of this. And I'm going to change the colors to white, and you can increase the transparency level. You can see here. So you got one more effect, something like this. And then Ctrl D to duplicate it, and I'm going to do it the other side. You can see here, I'm going to put it one side here. Again, select this, hold the shift key, select this, merge shape, and again subtract, and you can give some different color here and bring it, and again make it more transparent. You can see here, something like this, you can do it. And one more, I'm just going to do it again. Go to insert shapes, select the oval shape. I'm going to cut this much, you can see here, and then subtract it. And I'm going to add one more, I'm going to subtract it, this one. So you can see here, I'm going to keep only this much. Again, this color you can make it more darker color if you want. Shape outline, make it no outline, and bring it here, and again make it more transparent. So something like this, a different shape you can give. Or you can do one more. Let me just do this as the last one. Insert shapes, select the oval shape. I'm going to add one like this here, Ctrl D, and I'm going to add one more like this. So only this part I'm going to retain. So first of all, select the small circle, then hold the shift key, select this, merge shape, subtract, and again this one I'm going to select, and this also I'll just say subtract. and I'm just going to add it here. And this color also you can give maybe black and increase the transparency level. So you end up getting a shape something like this, and then I'm going to select all, press Ctrl G to group it. So you can see our design is ready. Or if you want, we can just bring the color one also. You can see here this one I can just send back also if I want. So it looks something like this. Now once this is ready, now it's easy for me. I'm just going to duplicate this, press Ctrl D to duplicate it. I'm going to add one here, Ctrl D. I'm going to add one more here, Ctrl D, one more here, again Ctrl D, make it somewhat smaller, you can see here, and just add it here and send this to back. And if you feel that this white is more this one, you can just increase the transparency also, so it looks less white here. So because white is I'm just going to reduce it. Yeah. So once this is done, now it's time to connect these circles. So go to insert shapes, select the rectangle, draw the rectangle, maybe this much size, shape outline, make it no outline, and I'm going to give a gradient fill. So the gradient fill, the last time which we have used, so I'm going to type, I'm going to make it linear. So the first one, I'm going to give some gray color. You can see here it comes something like this. I want to go and select the linear right, and on the right I'm going to add one more which is somewhat darker color, and this one you can give some lighter color here. So it looks something like this. If you want, you can reduce the size by holding the Alt key, you can see here. And then I'm just going to connect. So let me just reduce the size. Again, using this arrow, you can just rotate it. I'm just going to put it here. You can see here exactly I'm going to put it one, and then I'm just going to add it here, and then I'm going to select this, duplicate, again rotate it, put it, and then just align it properly, and again Control D, rotate this, you can see here, and the last one Control D. You can reduce the size, you can go to the format also, you can just reduce the size something like this here also, and then I'm just going to put it and do something like this, you can see here. So you can see here our design is ready. I'm now going to select all of this, press Ctrl G to group it. Now let me just add one rectangle for the text. Go to insert shapes. I'm going to select the rectangle, draw the rectangle by holding the shift key, and then make sure that align center, align middle, shape outline, make it no outline, and we can change the color later on. And I'm going to add one more by pressing Ctrl D to duplicate it and increase the size by holding the shift key, you can see here, and go to format, shape outline, you can give maybe a black, and I'm going to increase the weight of this, you can see here, maybe this, shape fill, make it no fill, and then align center, align middle. Then I'm just going to select this and I'm going to bring this to front. Now we can just change some other color so that we can add some backgrounds. To add the background, I'm going to insert shapes, select the rectangle. I'm going to select one rectangle till this part. Let me just enable the guides, you can see here, and I'm going to give a different color. Let me just go to format, shape fill, I can give some orange color, shape outline, make it no outline, and press Ctrl D. I'm going to add one more here, maybe I can increase the size a little bit more, and then I'm going to give maybe this color, both one. I'm just going to send this to back, and then I can add one more here, and this color I'm going to give maybe a light blue color. Again, this also send to back, and by pressing Ctrl D I'm just going to add one more. You can see here, and this color I can give some dark blue colors, and this also send to back. Now this color I'm going to change this to white. You can see here white, and the line also I'm going to make it white, so it looks something like this. And then you can add some more shapes. Go to shapes, you can see here the right triangle, draw the right triangle, shape outline, make it no outline. Maybe you can give some dark colors here. Press Ctrl D, you can just rotate it and you can put it here. Let me just rotate it to left 90 degrees, and I want to give some maybe this color. So whichever way you want, if you want you can add some more here also. Let me just add one more here, and make sure that this is properly aligned. Again, go to insert shapes. I'm going to select one more here. Maybe I can give a light blue shape outline, make it no outline, and then rotate it, and then just send this to back. So it looks something like this now. So our background is ready. Now it's time to duplicate the molecule design. So before I duplicate the molecules, let me just move it aside a little bit, and then go to insert text box. I'm going to add the title. Example, I'll just say science, and center align. The font I'm going to change it to Century Gothic. Make it bold, increase the size, and you can give any good font color here, and press Ctrl D to duplicate it. And I can just say example research project, and I'm going to change the color to some lighter colors, or a blue color, dark blue. You can see here. Let me just put it here, and you can add some detailed text here. So this detailed text also, let me just center align. Same font I'm going to give. And now once this is done, I'm going to duplicate this. Let me just remove the guides. Press Ctrl D to duplicate. Reduce the size. If you want, you can just rotate it something like this. I can just add one here. Press Ctrl D, reduce the size. You can add one here. Again, Ctrl D, reduce the size a little bit. You can see here. So many ways, different ways you can just add it. For example, let me just rotate this. I can just rotate. And if you want, you can just copy only one also. Maybe example, let me just duplicate this. I'm going to ungroup. Let me just delete this one by one. You can see here. Then this one I can make it big by holding the shift key. You can see here, and I'm going to place it here. Format, I'll just say send back. You can see here, something like this. You can do it. So likewise, you can add one also. So many things you can do it. Again, let me just select this, press Ctrl D. I'm going to add one more here. This big one, Ctrl D. Reduce the size to the smallest and put somewhere randomly here and there. You can see here, I can reduce it further. So likewise, you can add so many different the molecules. You can add only two also, that also possible. So many things you can do this one. Once this design is ready, we can add the subsequent slides. If you want, you can give some shadow effect also, and you can send something back also. Go to format, just send this to back. This also is come back. Let me just move it to back so it looks something like this. Also, I can just move this, sorry, inside also something like this. So whichever way you want, you can just place these molecules here. Now I'm going to add new slide. You can see here. Let me just duplicate, remove this. Then I'm going to select this, Control C, bring it here, Control V, and go to format. You can just rotate, reduce the size. This one you can go to view and add in the slide master also, so that will be permanent. That is a better way of doing the presentations. So you can just do that. Let me just duplicate this, copy it here. You can see here, and you can add your whatever the topics or subject you want to add it. You can add something like this. That's it from me, friends. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe PowerPoint University. See you soon with more interesting stuff. Till then, goodbye.